We're going. Thanks, Dave.
Starting at next song.
Good afternoon and welcome to Midweek for November 26th. I'm Kathleen Charlebois.
And I'm Sarah Sameta. Today on Midweek, how to protect yourself from hackers.
Mark was and still is, to my memory, I'd like to say he was an extraordinary lad, but the thing that stands out with me is, despite initial potential, blocks to whatever he could have become as a person from a practical, physical, mental point of view. He went on in life being quite an ordinary fellow and excelling at that.
I'm Mark Valcour, your host of Live Revolutions and also the live recording engineer for these sets. Live Revolutions is a CKCU sound output, live music presentation.
Mark Valcour was born in Kentville in 1954. He and his brother Paul were born with multiple bone defects, but refused to let it slow them down. Mark spent his life working as an audio engineer. For him, it was never noise, always sound, and he passed along that lesson, among many more, to thousands of students.
Mark Valcour really was our radio guy. You know, he was the technical side of things, but he was also really the heart and soul of the radio operation. Because of his clear commitment to it and the fact that it was so central to sort of who he was, I think that communicated a sense of importance and significance to the students who passed through.
Mark served as the audio technician at Carleton since 1986, along with working at Algonquin College, CKCU-FM, and helping countless bands and bars with sound at shows. He spent so much time at Carleton that he even had a pull-out couch in his office for late nights. It was his home away from home, but one early January morning, no one could find the man who was seemingly always there.
I went and asked around, thinking this is different. And other people were saying, well, that's, I haven't seen him, this term so far, not on the Monday, not on the Tuesday, or he hasn't responded to texts that I've sent, which is a little unlike him, that sort of thing. I knew that there was a problem.
When no one knew where Mark was, Paul and two close friends drove to Mark's home in the Gatineau Hills. Paul said he expected the worst.
When I went in, I already knew that I would find a body, and luckily, and this is what the family takes consolation in, he had passed away in his sleep very comfortably.
Out of all the work Mark did at Carleton, the show he spent the most time on was Midweek, where he worked closely with students before each show. After years of working alongside his colleague and friend, Tate said he saw Mark's influence on about 3,500 students firsthand.
Mark's instruction meant that he sat down really with each of those 3,500 students, individually or in groups of maybe 2 or 3 at the most, at least sometime. That everybody had a very close one-on-one connection to Mark during the course of their instruction. And that's a special kind of teaching relationship.
One of Mark's brightest pupils was Dave Sarrazin. He started working in radio at the young age of 15 and said he learned everything from Mark. Now, Sarrazin is taking over as Carleton's audio technician in place of his lifelong mentor.
Probably around 2010, he started suggesting to me that I come work with him at the J School in case he would ever get sick one day. He was kind of miraculous in the way that he hadn't missed a day of work in 30 years. So he basically took me under his wing, set me up, trained me to do, basically the day-to-day things he did around the J School.
Saracen said he will never be able to equal what Mark did at Carleton, but hopes to do his best in his memory. For Tate, he'll always remember Mark's push for perfection.
What Mark did was provide an example where in your time you do something as well as you can do it. And that's really the responsibility. The responsibility isn't to leave a legacy that goes on. It's in your time, do the best you can. And I always had the feeling that Mark was doing that, or trying to do that. And that's what matters to me, I think.
Sadly, not many get to say goodbye to those they love. But if given the chance, most know exactly what they would say.
What I would have liked to have done the most is just, thanked him, had, just one last meal, one last story, one last everything, but unfortunately it doesn't happen that way though, when you want it to. But
I was lucky to have you for 60 years, bro. And despite the fact that you like the Rolling Stones and I know better, the Beatles were the better group, I'd rather have you arguing with me any day over that. You did a lot of things and you did them all well, and everybody respects and loves you for that. So take care, and hopefully our spirits will cross paths again. Sooner or later it will, I hope.